Greetings, friends, and welcome to our pre-full moon garden visualization for the Wesak Festival for May 2022. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, allow me to share some of the background for this garden visualization with you. DK tells us that one of the steps in training which lies ahead of you is the establishing of a closer contact with me, your Tibetan teacher. Owing to the pressures of time and of urgency in service, I am one of the several teachers who have pledged themselves for the next few years to keep the 12 hours prior to the full moon of each month open for contacts with their disciples, so that at any time during that 12 hours, the world servers and disciples can make an attempt to reach us. DK emphasizes that our contact with him is intended to be a group contact, and as a group we will seek to strengthen the tie between him and us. This, therefore, he tells us, is an act of group service to be rendered selflessly and with no personal expectancy. Why a garden, you might ask? DK taught his disciple CDP to create a garden of beauty, to perfect it, and then to use it. He also taught her how to dedicate it and to turn it into a shrine of consecration, and to connect it in her mind with a thought of service. That which is thus created and used, he says, exists, and that on the inner planes, her garden is of service to his group of disciples and to others in larger numbers than she thought. It was a place of gathering for many and a place of refuge for a few. He also told her to enter her tower and to climb to the summit and then release the light which is in her. This will be to the garden of her soul what the sun is to the gardens of the world. He also told her to watch the rays of light pouring out over the garden, awakening it to color and beauty, arousing it to movement and life, and calling forth the song of the birds and the hum of the bees, and evoking it to a responsive loveliness. And there he will meet her, and to ponder on the symbolism hidden in this garden and work steadily from this center of love and light. So at some hour during the preceding 12 hours, we can make our approach. And when we do so rightly, DK tells us, we will find him waiting. Go to your work, he says, with clear vision, a loving heart, and an understanding love. Much can then be accomplished. So with our hearts beating as one, let's build a beautiful, symbolic and colorful garden, arousing it to life, imbuing it with the energies of the full moon, and evoking it to a responsive loveliness, using our inner senses. At some point within the 12 hours prior to each full moon, we'll meet DK there, turning our healing garden into a shrine of consecration, and intending to offer it as a group chalice for the love of hierarchy to be poured in selfless service to humanity. So let's gather in our garden. But before doing so, let's align briefly with our own soul. Raise your consciousness into the head, as high in the head as you can. Visualize a huge magnet above your head, drawing you up. Now carry the thought or consciousness upward through the astral body. A poised, still, and calm astral body like a sea of glass. Then to the mind, a focused and a one-pointed mental body. Then to the soul. Visualize a lotus, fully open, scintillating with light, and pulsating like a heart as a symbol of your soul body. Place yourself in the center of your lotus. Realize that you, the personality, and you, the soul, are one. From that point, definitely and consciously, assume the attitude of the observer. Observe your personality below. Visualize your etheric body and see energy flowing freely up and down the etheric spine. Consciously throw soul energy down into the center at the base of the spine, using indigo blue light, the color of love and wisdom. And now, in your creative imagination, raise it slowly via the 5 centers up the etheric spine. Then to the ajna, then to the crown, and into the soul body. And say the soul mantra with conviction, knowing who you are. I am the soul. I am light divine. I am will. I am love. I am fixed design. And sound an Om as if you were the soul in full expression. Then endeavor to throw the attention of the united soul personality towards the spiritual triad. At the entrance to our garden, we stroll through arches of climbing roses, Master KH favorite flower. Choose the colors that appeal to you. As we walk down the path, the roses gently caress our cheeks. We breathe in the delicate aroma of the cascading colorful roses percolating through the air. Lovingly trimmed green bushes line the stony pathway, and we can hear the gentle crunch of the tiny stones under our steps. At the end of the archway along an embankment, there are rows and rows of flowers. Flowers of different hues and harmonizing tones. And as we create these rows, we include our favorite flowers. The fragrant aroma of the blooms permeates the still air around us. We feel the soft, cool grass beneath our feet. On the opposite side of the embankment, we see right in the middle of our space of harmony a lighthouse, standing tall and strong, shining beams of light in all directions, as a symbol of our united group soul. As we assemble there quietly, we hear a choir of birds fill the space with their clear, melodious notes, welcoming us to this unique space. A chorus of angelic voices sings a soft tune, accompanied by the sound of harps, divas gently strumming the chords. Sitting still around the lighthouse, we feel the gentle warmth of the rays of the sun. In the background, the breeze softly swishing through the tall eucalyptus trees chants a melodic lullaby. Around the lighthouse, we see a large, quiet pool of crystal clear waters. Flowing from the pool, we hear rivulets gently trickling. Nearby, 3 wider streams of golden water flow steadily, and linking them are curved wooden bridges. In one area of the pool float lotuses of all colors in all stages of bloom. Some are in full bloom, revealing their gorgeous jewel, while others are just budding and barely showing their true color, but all reflecting their light in the healing waters. Beyond the pool, a hidden path leads us to a cozy and serene corner, quivering with livingness. It creates a perfect spot for an informal sharing of one's difficulties or words of wisdom. You may invite a friend or a loved one in need of healing to join you there. In the distance, we hear the soothing sound of water, and we follow it. We come to a blue pool, where cascading water gently hugs rocks as it joyfully spills below, while bubbles of spray ricochet spiritedly in the air. The fiery brilliance of the orange and red leaves of the surrounding trees exudes warmth and invigoration. And in our mind's eye, we follow a pathway leading to flower beds of harmonious tones of such vibrancy, winding their way like a gentle living stream among the trees. A row of violet flowers on either side of the meandering bed happily follows the path of the flowers, releasing their subtle perfume. Butterflies flutter through the air with their iridescent wings, attracted by the silent serenade of the blooms. They are like the flowers of the air. Their delicate and velvety wings are like floating petals, catching the light, twinkling like diamonds in the air. While buzzing bees surf the open spaces from flower to flower, seeking pollen, which scintillates like bright golden pixie dust. This garden that we've just created is our garden, our group garden. But let's take a moment to add a little corner with the colors, the unique features and flora of your own country that you'd like to blossom in this serene space. Let's now invite the presence and cooperation of the healing devas working under the Christ and Master DK. They fill the space as they crowd around us, eager to pour their magnetism in service to humanity alongside us. Sitting in silence around our lighthouse, we link up with one another's hearts and minds, as well as with those working with us on the other side of the veil. And we say the healer's mantra aloud together. With purity of motive, inspired by a loving heart, we offer ourselves for this work of healing. This offer we make as a group, and to the ones we seek to heal. Let's now open our inner eyes, endeavoring to hold our mind unwaveringly in the group light. We know that Master DK too stands steady, pouring out upon us his love and strength, and endeavoring to lift us up into a higher state of consciousness. We are now receptive to Master DK's radiant energy. The light of the lighthouse begins to become brighter and brighter, intensifying gradually. And soon this light begins to take shape, and in our imagination a definite figure appears. It is that of Master DK. Let us be impressed by the powerful waves of cosmic harmony emanating from Master DK at the summit of our lighthouse, streaming through our united hearts, irradiating the garden around us and imbuing it with a Taurian energy of stillness, of desire for right human relations, for harmony between nations, and comprehension of the plan for the greater good. Let's listen intuitively to the Master's words and let them quench our thirst for loving understanding and touch our hearts for the release of the healing light. Taurus is the sign of illumination, and the keynote for the disciple in Taurus is I see, and when the eye is open, all is light. What does the light of illumination of Taurus through the agency of the Buddha reveal? It's the will of God. It's the divine will to good, to peace through understanding, and to right relations between men and between nations. We sense a critical alignment building up as we approach this unique full moon at Wesak. An alignment between Sanat Kumara, the light of life itself, the planetary enlightener, and the Buddha, the embodiment of light, and the Christ, the distributing agent for the forces of enlightenment, pouring their light down to hierarchy, then to humanity. We sense another pronounced alignment of a triangle also forming between the Lord of the world, linked through the Manu representing Shambhala, the Christ, the Prince of Peace, representing hierarchy, and the Master Ah, the Lord of Civilization, representing humanity, setting up a potent note and vibration, invoking the spirit of peace. Who is the spirit of peace, and why is he so important? He is an extra-planetary being of terrific cosmic potency, and is today overshadowing the Christ, called the Prince of Peace. Thus, his stupendous energies will be stepped down through the medium of the Lord of Love and become available to the mass of men. He is hovering close to humanity, seeking opportunity to make his presence felt. And he is destined to bring peace eventually upon earth through the expression of goodwill, which will bring about light human relations. And what is the effect of the energy of the forces of light and the spirit of peace? It's the illumination of the minds of men with love from the spirit of peace and with light from the forces of light. And this illumination precipitates upon the mental plane. The spirit of peace will vitalize the responsiveness of humanity via the influence of hierarchy to the will of God, which has for basic intent the bringing of peace on earth. The Shambhala force pours through the Buddha, producing an understanding cooperation with a divine plan and an enlightened fusion of the individual will with a great divine will, and this for the greater good of the whole. So D.K. tells us, I call you therefore everyone to a great service of demand and of invocation on behalf of humanity, a demand for the flow of light upon the decisions of men. I would ask you to request and expect the needed enlightenment for those who have to make decision on behalf of men everywhere. The Buddha, the agent of the life in whom we move and have our being, bestows on humanity the light of illumination of Taurus. So let's see a shaft of light from the eye of the bull of Taurus descend on our garden and pervade it with illumination. And let the spirit of demand for light, for right human relations, for the will to good from the Buddha permeate through our group. Infusing our garden with our invocation for greater light. Let's demand that desire be transmuted into aspiration, darkness be given place to light and illumination on earth. Venus, the exoteric ruler of Taurus, the alter ego of the earth, is that mysterious force which is a blend of love and knowledge, of intelligence and synthesis, and of understanding and brotherhood. So let's picture Venus, the goddess of intelligent love, walking with poise through our garden, bringing Taurus and our earth closer together, carrying unimpeded the light which shines through the eye of the bull into the darkness, imbuing our garden with a harmonizing and inner fusion of heart and mind, marrying soul and personality. Feel this union deeply with every fiber of your being. Taurus forges the instruments of constructive living. Vulcan, the esoteric ruler of Taurus, governed by Ray 1, brings in the Shambhala force in guiding the soul who works in the densest, most concrete expression of the natural world, to fashion that which is beautiful and useful, transmuting the material world and molding it to his will to achieve beauty and synthesis. So let's take a moment to imaginatively see, feel, and hear the thundering blow of Vulcan's hammer of will, striking his anvil, creating a beautiful jewel of harmony. Taurus is a synthetic sign. It brings expression of an inner urge of some definite nature upon the physical plane. Humanity, the world disciple, is beginning to come under the influence of Taurus. And the forces of enlightenment are the energy that will lead to intelligent activity and to correct mental planning. So once these have been released, it becomes the responsibility of the new group of world servers to direct them. So DK tells us, if the thinking and the executive people of the world can have their minds illumined by the spirit of wisdom and understanding, they can act as distributors of that light through enlightened planning and legislation, and thus affect the entire world. So let's visualize our lighthouse, symbol of our united group soul, standing strong and detached as Master DK at the summit directs a light of illumination to the heart of every blade of grass, every flower, every lotus, every molecule of water and of air in our garden. Let's now make use of our garden by visualizing the flow of the will to good emanating from the triangle, the avatar of synthesis at the apex, the spirit of peace, and the Buddha, powering the Christ at the center. Superimpose the radiating triangle on another triangle consisting of the Christ, Master DK, and our soul group. Blend and fuse both triangles to form one triangle. Then superimpose the blended triangle of light on our group chakric triangle, made up of our group crown chakra, our group ajna, and our group alta major, fusing and vitalizing it. Then, via our group ajna right eye, left eye triangle as distributor, let's direct the dispelling radiance of light. Place the blended triangles impressing it over the 3 planetary centers triangle made up of London, Geneva, and New York. And see the forces of enlightenment, the energies which initiate the new world education, be distributed throughout the whole world to those who have to make decision on behalf of men everywhere. And see them impress the big educational systems, the worldwide propaganda institutions, and all those agencies who work to educate and direct public thinking and mold public opinion, such as the radio, TV, social media, internet, the film industry, the press, the publishers of world literature, speakers, writers, social workers, and progressive and liberal churchmen in all the world religions. And let us say the healer's mantra aloud in a low voice, saying it slowly and deliberately, believing in the results. May the love of the one soul, focused in this group, radiate upon you, our fellow men, and permeate every part of your body, healing, soothing, strengthening, and dissipating all that hinders service and good health. May they be enlightened, illumined, and aroused by loving understanding and peace. And let us invoke peace on earth by saying the following mantra. O Lord of light and love, come forth and rule the world. May the Prince of Peace appear and end the warring of the nations. May the reign of light and love and justice be begun. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with us. And just like Christ does daily, standing under the great pine in his garden at sunset, let us picture a great pine tree in our garden, and let's gather around the Christ, Master Decay, and the healing ashram under this pine tree, saying the great invocation together as one group. And as we sound a blue Om between each stanza of the great invocation, let us visualize a shaft of light, love, peace, and will to good pour down on earth. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of men. Let light descend on earth. Sound a blue Om. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of men. May Christ return to earth. From the center, where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of men, the purpose which the masters know and serve. And from the center, which we call the race of men, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth. Raise your clasp hands above your head and say, "And so let it be," and help us to do our part. Then bring them down to your forehead and let them rest on your heart. May the blessing of the Christ and of the hierarchy rest upon all true servers, and may they stand tranquil in the midst of strife. And may the light of the garden of our souls be on the inner planes, as the sun is to the gardens of the world, a place of healing, of enlightenment, of peace, and harmonious relations for many.